What is happening? AJ Gaming Dude here, and I feel like there's no way I couldn't have talked about this particular story because it's quite fascinating, especially the way in which it happened. So ultimately, Ubisoft has published a game called Rainbow Six Siege. It's been out for actually quite some time and is actually quite successful for them. In fact, it's actually a very good and very unique type of shooter that requires a lot more tactical knowledge, playing the game slowly rather than running around like headless chickens, and actually being thoughtful in your approach as you work with other people in your team to either, as you know, terrorists or counter. Well, I suppose saying terrorists and counter-terrorists is counterintuitive. I haven't actually really played the game that much myself, but you know, like there is a lot more strategy involved in, like, say, most multiplayer shooters nowadays. So the new season has been announced for, like, this is the 9th year that the game has been out, so I think it was like year 9 season 2 or whatever it's called. Some changes were announced at the, I suppose, esports version for Rainbow Six Siege, so to speak. At the Blast R6 Major Manchester 2024 tournament specifically, they introduced a membership. So pretty much it's like GTA Plus for GTA games, or yeah, pretty much it's like a subscription effectively, where you pay $10 a month or $80 a year, and it gives players access to, you know, the battle pass, exclusive cosmetics, and things along those lines. And a lot of the criticism towards this Rainbow Six membership for Siege is coming from the fact that the game has already been quite heavily monetized as it is, because there's a lot of different types of monetizations. The fact that you do need to pay for a lot of the operators, which are kind of like heroes in a hero-based shooter effectively, where each operator is each like provide different abilities, fall under different classes in a way. Like if you could have like a big shield guy and you could use him to, you know, be able to tank hits because the shield is sort of protecting him, or being able to hide behind the shield guy as your assault guys kind of go around and try to, you know, figure their way out. And I thought, okay, they're doing a membership effectively. Do they have any good content within said membership? And it turns out that they don't. So to provide a bit of context, they are bringing back one of the original operators that used to be a part. I don't know if they currently are a part of it, but they used to be to some extent an operator, and they're bringing him back as a remastered operator. And the community's like, okay, you're bringing back an operator and making no changes at all and charging us extra for it. That's not ideal. And so effectively this was announced during the major 2024 tournament for Rainbow Six. And in this small clip that you can see here from this from this Reddit clip, when they announced it, because you'll see someone speaking English but in an incredibly French accent, as they're announcing it, slowly the crowd starts booing the guy who's like announcing it. And the fact is that this is happening in a tournament that is for Rainbow Six players. So the main people who are going to be watching this are really into the Rainbow Six Siege competitive space effectively, or who actually play a lot of Rainbow Six Siege themselves. So this is the hardest of the hardcore watching this live, and they are the ones in the audience that are booing the changes that are being made to the very game that they are the hardest of the hardcore of, which is like really fascinating, and kind of like the part that I thought was actually interesting that spawned this whole news story, is that you announced to the hardest of the hardcore, we're bringing in a membership here's what you're going to expect. So stuff like exclusive cosmetics. We're going to bring back remastered versions of previously available operators and things along those lines. And because they're barely making any changes to those operators, it almost feels like a slap in the face that you're taking away content and then bringing it back only to then charge more for it again. And it does really make you wonder, if you pay for like the subscription for just a month, do you get access to the subscription content, and then after that month you don't get access to those operator skins or anything else? How does that work? Because what if you have the skin equipped on, does the skin just automatically get removed to whatever the default is after you get taken off the subscription? Like, it really does make me kind of scratch my head and wonder, how is this going to work? And forget how it's going to work, it's clearly a bad idea to begin with when there's so many versions of Rainbow Six. There's so many different season passes for like different eras and periods of time in which Rainbow Six Siege has been available. There's so many different cosmetics, so many different operators, and a lot of it can be bought with real money. So there's a lot of microtransactions in the game already, and yet there's now another microtransaction now being put in additionally. So I can absolutely understand why the entire Rainbow Six Siege community is kind of up in arms about it. Now, is it the entire community? Maybe not, but definitely the hardest of the hardcore are very much upset with the decision, and I can absolutely see why. And I am also very much opposed to this, even as someone who doesn't really even play the game. I get it. I don't want more games to get more microtransactions in there. Like for myself, it's when I talked about when Tekken 8 announced they were going to be adding a battle pass on top of the season passes, character passes, cosmetics, and everything else that is already behind a paywall, only to then add a battle pass on top of everything else that they're charging for, including extra editions, or the fact that the base game actually costs more than what it used to, being now a $70 game instead of a $60 game. And sure, you could make the argument, hey, what about Fortnite? Because Fortnite does have the Fortnite crew sort of subscription membership service, whatever you want to call it. But the problem is that Rainbow Six Siege is a game you have to pay for. Fortnite is free to play, and even then, I feel like Fortnite is just trying a little bit too hard to try and charge more money for things towards an audience that may already be used to the idea of having to pay more money for things. I don't know, that's just kind of how I'm seeing things at the moment. Let me know what you guys think about this whole situation in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 200 subs by the end of the year, and with all that said and done, I upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.